It's about 7 o'clock and the General Assembly is getting started, so let's watch.
Mic check. Mic check. Please come on over and sit down. You don't have to stand. You can make yourself comfortable.
I will be standing for the record.
A couple of minutes to gather in, and then we'll start. As soon as it feels like people are paying attention, but actually we're not going to wait too long. We're going over one last thing together, and then we'll be right with you.
You got to get
We're going to
more.
restore the American Dream, son.
I've been in the 50s for 8
Some anarchists out in front, or back as it is.
General Assembly.
Zoom in.
My name is Allison, and I'll be one of your facilitators.
I'm Chris, and I'll be the other facilitator.
How they actually do it.
How are we all feeling tonight about People's Mic? Do we want to do People's Mic? Give me a temperature check. We don't actually have...
No, I just talked to it. I just talked to it just a while ago.
I've gotten a request. I run the live stream. If we don't use the people's mic and the speaker doesn't speak into the microphone, no one on the internet can hear what we have to say because they can't hear even the people's mic by itself. So it would be great if at least the speaker could do it. Just show of hands.
Okay,
We just
mic
run
check.
over the crowd. Mic check.
My name is Allison. And I'm one of your facilitators.
My name is Chris.
Woo!
I'm the other facilitator.
What we're going to do this evening is review our process for General Assemblies so that both experienced folk and new folk get some understanding of what's going on here. We'll start by going...
Not camp related.
Okay.
And then from there, we would go on to ideological.
Ideological.
Thank you.
Oh.
Topics. Yeah, she'll clarify for you.
Okay. All right, so what we're thinking is that there's usually always on our minds sort of one big subject. In a consensus General Assembly, we usually present these things as a need needs to be addressed, and we're going to discuss it and see if we have ideas about how to address it. It can either be a reflection that ends there, that may have proposals we would consider later, or we could go into decision-making process on proposals that come out of that. And sometimes those, whatever that topic is, will come out of what the groups report sometimes it will be coming out of just bubbling up out of us, and the facilitators will suggest something. So we will see what happens this evening after we hear all the group reports. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
After the big topic.
After that, we have an open stack. And from there, it's camp-related announcements. So things pertaining to the group here and our way of life, if you will. And then an open stack after that. So if individuals want to come up and say something to the group for a designated time period, they can do that during that time.
I'm going to clarify one thing. There's an open stack after the big topic that is for presenting. Anybody here can come up and present a proposal that we might consider at a later date, unless it seems like urgent and we need to consider it right now, and make announcements. That's what that section is for. The open mic at the end is kind of like soapbox time. So you got something you just want to say? That's when you can come up and say it. Sound good? All right. So
I already got my slogan worked out.
I've already given them the cycle.
Okay, so we're going to I've been asked to clarify that the group announcements in the first section are not camp related. A lot of people here are not sleeping here, they're not living here. So that it really is sort of, they don't really need to hear, it's kind of, some people might be interested in the process of it, but they don't need to hear about what we're going to do for the walkways, etc. So the announcements that are happening from the groups in the first section are announcements that would be pertinent to everyone. Camp announcements come in that second stack announcement time. Okay, ready to move on? So now we're ready to move on, and we're going to go to... we're checking in, temperature check on the agenda, and whether anybody has other agenda items they feel should be on there. Okay. And I'm going to say one last thing. I want to thank you all for your patience and understanding, because culturally we like things to go fast, but what we're modeling in this process is slowing down a little bit to give everybody time to have input and to make sure that we're trying. You can see that when I ask for a temperature check, I'm trying to look around, and actually because of lights and stuff, it can be a little hard, but we want to know we want everybody's inputs. We don't want, in the name of speed, to make rash decisions that don't really include everyone's thinking.
Point of information.
Point of information.
It is a fact.
It is a fact.
Cultural influence.
Cultural influence.
To one side.
To one side.
That not all people.
That not all people.
Have equal amounts.
Have equal amounts.
Of free time.
Of free time.
To be truly inclusive.
To be truly inclusive.
Means navigating.
Means navigating.
A dialectic.
A
contradiction between inclusive process and efficiency. That's all.
Thank you, and that is what we're trying to balance.
Okay.
And understanding the process has to come first. So we're moving on to the next item of the agenda, unless there's a big block to that. All right, that's group announcements, and we're starting, I believe, with media. Yes, who's on stack? Media.
I think you just gave like 600 people a miniature
What's
list.
up, everybody? Are you happy to be here? Woo! My name's Alex, and I am doing your nightly media announcements. There are a lot of new faces in the crowd, and we're happy to have you. Woo! Woo! Yeah. This is the one time in the night where you can cheer and not use hand signals, because it's good news! Yeah. Not that the rest of it isn't, but this is particularly exciting. So, unless you were under a rock today, you may have noticed that every media outlet in Boston has picked this up. Yeah. And not only that, but international. National. We are global, people, and that's super exciting.
And Worcester, Massachusetts!
And Worcester, Massachusetts!
Egypt stands with us!
Egypt stands with us. So does... Well, New York Times covered us. NECN,
On the front
the
page.
Globe, the Herald, and all the major TV networks, as well as all the major radio outlets. The college newspapers have covered us. The union magazines have covered us.
Yeah!
Yeah! So this is good news. But that's not all it's about. Because this is not an exercise in entertainment for the mainstream media. That's not what this is about. In the past 72 hours, we have accumulated over 3,000 Twitter followers, 8,000 Facebook fans, and the people have uploaded thousands of pictures and videos to Flickr. So got the people's attention, and that's what really matters. Yeah.
The People's TV!
On the People's TV. So enjoy yourselves. Have a good night. We're celebrating that. We got the word out. People are watching. Let's make something happen, people.
Alrighty, next up is Luke Radel from Arts and Culture.
All right, cool. So Arts and Culture has a couple things going on. Wow, there's a lot of you now. Awesome.
All part of
Item
the General
one,
Assembly.
we have a community calendar now, which we are trying to coordinate with media on getting it online, but there's also a physical version over here on the wall at the very end. There's not much on it now, but we're working on getting all of our events, all of our marches, all of the meeting times. We're going to try and get all of the working group meeting times on there too, so that anybody that comes in that doesn't catch the time at an announcement or something and wants to be involved in one of those activities can look at it and see it, and those should be online too, and everybody will see that. Temperature check on the awesome calendar. Awesome. And the other thing with the calendar is we have the Dewey School starting up, which is an opportunity for any of you that have any skill sets or knowledgeability in an area that you think you are competent in sharing with other people, and that can be anything that, anything. You can go to the wall and put a time that isn't filled, put a place, say what you're doing, and we will, if you get that in there before 6 p.m. the day before you're scheduling it for, sorry if that's not clear, you have to get it on there the day before you're scheduling it, before 6 p.m. so we can announce it at GAs so everyone will know, and it's not just like you're putting your name up there and nobody sees it and nobody shows up. We're trying to get people involved in this community education project. So that's what we're doing there. Everybody on board with this? Awesome. The second thing is we are trying to start a magazine, a community magazine of completely you guys' submissions. So just everybody will be able to submit things. There is a box in the Arts and Culture tent all the way over there in Big Orange Tent. If you are new and you can't find it, come find me. I'll tell you where it is. We're looking for anything you guys want to see in a magazine. So we're looking for news articles that you might have written about this, about something else, commentaries, if you just want to rant or something, poetry, art, cartoons, all of that stuff, anything that you want to see in that you put there. And our idea is, instead of having an editorial process,